Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. It's cold out here. Well, cool, not really cold. Early in the morning. Y'all see that background, man? That sunrise. Oh, something beautiful there. Pray that everyone is holding themselves together. We're living in a rough time, man. I've talked to a few people over the last couple of weeks. Brother down in Richmond just lost a family member, or two brothers. And they just lost some family members, older family members. Another brother that I'm close with, he lost a nephew about a week ago to an OD. So I say this, and I say this a lot, and we're humans, so we're going to disagree. We're going to have issues with one another. Family, sadly, but family as well. But we have to be very careful how long these grudges are held. And I say this because I speak to myself, you know what I mean? I speak to myself as well. I'm a firm believer in respect. I give it in excess for anybody that knows me, but I demand it, you know what I mean? I demand it. I don't mean to respect like, yield to what I say, bow down. Nah, I'm just talking about common courtesy. When we talk with respect to one another. When we deal with respect to one another. This society is getting further and further away from respect, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't talk about religion a whole lot. I quote the Bible, I quote the Quran, I quote, different people and prophets and messengers, because their wisdom, in my opinion, is sage, is wise. But I say this, the further we get away from the Most High, the further we get away from principles that, if we studied them, would govern society in a greater way. You know what I mean? You think about a society that doesn't place people above one another based on color, based on financial status, based on looks, appearance. If we dealt with principle, and principle is what we were governed by, then we would be striving to do and be better, to help one another, to be selfless. But this society, we judge one another based on, how tall, how short, how small, how slim, how skinny, how big, women behinds are, breasts are, long hair, guys, six packs, and money, whether you got this outfit or that outfit, this car, that car. And you can have $1 million. You can have the nicest physique, and you can have the nicest vehicles in a place of residence, and you can still hate the human race and not do nothing for the human, and people will still love you more than someone who has very little, man, but gives their all to the people, right? So we have to be very careful with how we judge and deal with one another, man, honestly. But I just want to speak briefly on where are the monsters? Where are the monsters? And this is not just to women. I need you sisters to hear me. You women, all races who may be watching this, but I want the males to hear this too, and anybody that's inside, especially you young brothers that may be watching this inside of the juvenile centers or the prison system. Where are the monsters? Where are these dudes that caught rape cases? Where are they? Where are these guys that rape men in prison? Where are they? Where are these guys that molested children, molested women, old ladies, raped children? Where are they? See, because some have made parole, some have been released. And see, I know this because I'm out here, right? Some of the guys that did time with me are out here. I'm very particular, man. I don't want to see them on my Facebook page. I don't befriend them, and I don't want nobody I know to befriend these guys. Now, honestly, I was wild at one time. I was violent. I fought a lot. I've used guns. I used knives. Sold drugs. I've been bad. And I lived, as a result of that, in prison for 25 years. And I could have did more. You know, not that I wanted to, I'm saying could have, based on, you know, my history. The Most High saw fit to let me out. And I'm doing my best to live a life of repentance by helping out where I can, being involved in our community, striving to uplift us as best I can, share words of advice, kindness, and just do my best, you know, to add to the beauty and the positivity in society. But there are those who were in, who did not grow, who are out, right? Some of them look good. Some of them are handsome. You see them, you'll never know. Man, that man done raped women. That man molested kids. Man, that man is a monster. That man raped guys, you know? Women, don't be afraid to look at people's jacket. Y'all know these computers. Y'all know these, you know, telephones, and y'all know how to research a person's history. Check these guys, man. If a guy say, yeah, I did a little time, it's all right. Now, don't, you know what I mean? I'm not saying don't judge. You can do what you choose, you know what I mean? Because we judge each other every day. But I am saying that a lot of time, you know, we will allow our like for a person to make us overlook some qualities and some you know, some traits that, man, may be detrimental to us, our loved ones, and people in general. You know, I stand on this. You know, I'm very careful. I love my family. I love the women in my family. I'm very inside, man, when guys knew me, man, and their brothers who watch this, man, even the officers, man, who know me, and they would say, man, Kareem did not deal with rapists, man. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if you could prove you were innocent somehow, if you pulled out all your paperwork and there was some degree of proof in my estimate that, okay, you innocent, but if you show enough guilty, I mean, I watch you, because I never understood that mindset. Like, how could you do that? You know, I don't agree with murder. You know, you in the community, you raise everybody, you come up off the, you know, the streets, you fight, and that's all you know. You pull out knives, that's all you know. You get to a fight with a guy, you know he got a gun, so you go back and get your gun. I don't agree with it, but that's what I understand. I don't understand how you just sit in the house and say, I want to go take something from a woman. I want to go take her vagina. I want to go take her dignity. You know what I mean? Her womanhood was hers. Man, I don't understand that, and I still don't like it. And I see it on the day, and I used to see it in prison. I'm like, guys would be so cool with these guys. Be cool with them. And I'm not saying guys can't grow. It's my word. But I'm saying some of these guys, they still exhibited mad traits. You know, I'm talking about mad, like madness, traits, like, you know. And I'm like, look at this dude. He's still exhibiting that. But I say that to say this. Where are the monsters? Where are the monsters? They out here, right? They are out here. And we have to be very mindful of who we bring into our homes. You women especially, and you men who are watching this, you know, who don't really want to be good fathers, you know, or know people who aren't trying to be good fathers, man. Get on these guys. Don't keep letting guys slip and slack. That's a part of manhood, man. Protecting what we love, man. Protect your children. You don't like the baby mother, so what? That is your daughter, that is your son. Offer protection. Offer some love. Be there. Get them to school, pick them up from school. If you live far away, call them on the phone, FaceTime them, check on them. Because we don't know who's out here, man. These kids are growing up molesting people. These kids are watching TV shows, man. And these youngers, man, they are like, they're overly, sexualized. Because all these shows, they showing little girls that are 10, 11, and 12 wearing cherry red lipstick, wearing mini skirts. That's not the attire for kids, man. But someone is dictating the airways. They're dictating the culture. Grandmothers used to tell girls when they ran around, you know, dress flying up a little too much. They thought they saw them sitting on a man's lap. Grandmother would tell you, sit your fast tail down. Stop showing your teeth. That's what grandmothers used to say, because they understood the psyche of the male. The male can be easily enticed if he doesn't have discipline. So grandmothers understood this, and they always demanded that the girls stop playing with them boys. Because boys would tend to, you know, try to grind on girls, fill them up, stuff like that. Even girls that were tomboys, you know, guys trying their hand once they start to feel their hormones raging. Grandmothers knew the science, Even grandfathers understood manhood. Boy, come on from out that house, hanging up under them women. Come over here to this car. Help me with this car. This is a radiator. This is where you put oil. This is a socket wrench. These were manhood qualities in training, women training. And we disregarding grandma now. We don't even see our grandfathers. We disregarding the wisdom of the elders. And look at the world today. Is it getting any better? No. Are we getting freer? Yeah. Free to do what though? Free to live our life any kind of way. And then when we get into trouble, then we're upset that we lived our life any kind of way because the trouble oftentimes is irreparable. You know, it's okay to say, let women sleep with whoever they want to sleep with. But then when they lined up with babies and they've had gonorrhea and syphilis and all this stuff, then it's like, I shouldn't have lived that life. Right? Same with me. You know, I want to rip and run and hang in the street. I wanted to turn around and shoot and use guns and won't fight. Then you got to sit on a bunk for 25 years. Smelling your roommate's urine, smelling his gas, he's smelling yours. Y'all smelling each other underarms. Can't get out the cell because you on lock every other day. Hoping someone sends you a money order so you can go to canteen. You see? Hoping you get a visit. Hoping you stay in the loop. Right? But we could have been living right if we would just humble ourselves and listen to sound wisdom. Like I say, this is short. You know, but I watch a lot, and I see people out here, you know, and I just want us safe, man, and I want us safe from, all sorts of harm, violence, all that. But I'm telling you, women, you know what I mean, who would date, ex-cons, returning citizens, it's all right to check our jacket, right? However you do it, check it. Don't believe everything that come out of a man's mouth just because he look good, right? He lay up in the bed nice. He got a few dollars. Don't. Nah. If you got a daughter, man, nowadays, if you got a son, check him. It's all right. It's all right. And if he's real, he going to say, go ahead, check that. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind you checking that. You know what I mean? Because I like you enough to sacrifice whatever pride may, come up if you bring it up. You got a right to. You got a right to check whoever you want. Check the jacket of the history of anybody you bring in your house. You have that right, and don't let nobody tell you different. Because your family, you see, the safety of yours is trumps all that. Trumps his ego and thought, what you checking on me for? You know what I'm saying? You don't believe me? I'm one of the realest dudes out here. Man, bump that. Some of the realest dudes, or at least out their mouths, man, be the fakest and the weakest and the softest things in that penitentiary, So be mindful. It's all right. Look out for the monsters, right? Watch what you're showing your kids on TV. They producing monsters. That television, that radio. I love music and I love movies, but I'm telling you, these kids don't have strong enough minds, man, to discern that stuff, man. Be careful of what you're showing them. Yeah. Show them nature. Show them education, show them trades and crafts, show them, documentaries on how to do hair and their ancestors and the fight and helping people and stuff like that. Stop letting them sit there at young ages watching these violent videos with guys swinging AKs and M16s everywhere. Girls just wearing nothing in there, talking about doing every and anything to men in the bed or women. And you got your 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old watching this stuff. We humans, man, and we are sponges, and we will absorb what we hear, what we see, and we will incorporate it, Like I say, this is not me being judgmental. This is me actually being unbiased because I'm stepping on my own toes, you know what I mean? Because we have to protect ourselves and protect each other. Man, this is a beautiful planet, and we are some beautiful people. But man, we can be ugly if we keep allowing ourselves to go ungoverned by principle. I appreciate you all, man. Real talk, man. Those who watch my videos, those who have reached out to me for these podcasts, man, shout out, to so many people. Like I said, one day I'm just going to, name, all the people who have been assistants to me. And that may be a video that's only watched by a handful of people. But I'm okay with that. I'm just grateful, man, because it means a lot to me that the little bit I can offer, right, means a lot to some. So you all take care of yourselves. Let us stay safe and sane out here. Let us look at that sunrise if you can, and if you can't, look at that sunset. You're alive. You're here, right? You're here. That is a blessing. Do something with it. Take care of yourselves. And as always, peace and blessings.